What is going on, guys? This is Zip of RageQuitTV. Gonna be casting a game between Liquid, TLO, and WhiteRa. This is gonna be the 14th or 15th game I have casted from these two players, but it is the first one on Metalopolis, which is pretty cool if you ask me. TLO, of course, spawning as the red Zerg, WhiteRa spawning as the blue Protoss. And since the first game I've casted on this map, I don't know exactly what they're going to be doing. I don't know what they like to do on Metalopolis, but I'm going to be assuming it's what they like to do on every other map, and that is just to be everywhere at once. WhiteRa with Warp Prisms, TLO with just flank attacks, mutas, Nidus Worms. You never know what you're up against when you're playing against TLO. And an Overlord for TLO is going to be checking the close base, but they spawn cross map. This is MLG Metalopolis, so I don't know if 100% cross is forced. I do know close is not possible, but you know, you don't even have to say that anymore, because even Blizzard said, oh, close position on Metalopolis, that's pretty bad. And they actually got it taken out, and you can see TLO saying, well, I don't get to sleep that much. Sometimes I can't sleep. I have been playing forever. And I know he wants to become the best. And WhiteRa, of course, he already is one of the best. And oh my god, this game is actually on Christmas. So that is definitely dedication right here. These two players not staying with their families, even though WhiteRa has a wife. I don't think he has a kid. He may possibly have one. I doubt it though. But these two players are going to be playing on Christmas. I don't know if this is night, day, or whatever. I'm assuming it's fairly early just because TLO said he was tired, has not got to sleep yet, or maybe he just woke up. I don't know. He is going to be going for that hatch first, though. And WhiteRa does have a pylon down here looking like he wants to forge Fast Expand. Actually going to go for that Nexus first, but he can still go for a cannon rush after that Nexus if he wants to. And there you have it, TLO just confirming he wants to become one of the best. He has no time to sleep because sleep is for the weak. And, well, TLO also wanting to win a tournament. I think he is due for one. WhiteRa going to be going for this cannon rush. It looks like this may just be trying to get TLO to overreact because he hasn't thrown down his forge just yet. That is going to be placed, and he may be trying to get TLO to pull drones off. Is he going to cancel this? Yes, he is. That was definitely just a fake not fake pylon, but just a ploy to try to get TLO to fall for that. And man, I wish these two players would stop talking. But well, TLO saying he wants to go back to Korea next year in March or April, which I believe is 2 or 3 months from now. So maybe I don't wish these two players to stop talking because I am learning stuff right now. TLO want to go back to Korea very shortly. I'd say 2 months. That's pretty short for how far away Korea is. I don't know how far it is from Europe, how long that flight is, but I just know it's a big commitment for us Americaners. And looks like TLO is going to be taking his third base at the 4-minute and 20-second mark. But this isn't really too early considering that WhiteRa went for this Nexus first. That super early third hatch is fairly common. It used to be extremely common. That is what you did against a Protoss player who goes for Nexus first. However, players did, like MC, found it, oh, you may be vulnerable to Void Rays if you do that. However, then other players found the timing for the Void Rays and now can deal with it. So TLO is going to be fairly safe right here. It is vulnerable to like a 7 or 8 gate rush. So the Overlord for TLO, I think it will be going into the base around 8:30, 9 minutes. He has an Overlord right here. And I say 8:30 or 9 minutes because that is the time that warp gates should be finishing. Around that 8-minute mark. And well, that is when they're going to have all those gateways finished building. Another assimilator is going down. So TLO knows, well, it may be 2 gas, it may be 3. Sometimes players will put 1 gas down here, 1 gas up here. In case the gas down there gets scouted, you may just assume they have both in the main when they really do not. But WhiteRa actually having all that gas, so I don't know what he's exactly going to be doing. He has his warp gates not started yet. The Cyber Next Core will be finishing right around 6 minutes and 20 seconds. WhiteRa does have plenty of chrono boost kind of saved up between these two nexus. Is kind of enough for 3 to 4 because that energy will regen as he is chrono boosting, but he is going to keep chrono boosting those probes out. And one thing about TLO's play, as I noticed some of the games, he does not keep up that drone production. There's going to be so many games I watch of him where and gets to like 18 minutes of the game and he's still at like 45 drones. One of his bases is mined out and he's like, okay, well, I'm just going to move those drones to another base, and he kind of stays on mining between 2.5 to 3 bases. and he seems to be fine with that, but I think he may just be putting on a little bit too much pressure. And TLO is going to be scouting. Looks like I was completely wrong with that timing. It wants to come in around the 7-minute mark. This will be to see Stargate play. So TLO favoring to see that, and well, at this timing, he may not be able to get to see the warp gates built yet because he still has another 2 minutes building. But I'd say that 8:30 minute mark was way off earlier. Get that Overlord in their base around 7:30. TLO is showing you that can show you the Stargate timing. And WhiteRa going to throw down another gateway. TLO does see that. He also sees this gateway. And oh my god, does he get to see this one too? Yes, WhiteRa just saying, here TLO, here's what I'm going. I am going for Gate Stargate. Deal with it. Not even trying to hide those gateways. I'm kind of curious why he didn't build the gateways kind of like down here. Maybe didn't want to wall off this area between his middle line in case mutas do come in. But he could have put a gateway right here, and hopefully that Overlord did not see it. He also has a pylon over here he could have put stuff. WhiteRa probably has a reason. I don't know about it. I just know I wouldn't want my opponent to know exactly what tech I'm going, because if TLO didn't see those extra 2 gates, he may be thinking, okay, it could be double Stargate. He could be going for like a Protoss 1-1-1. How funky does that sound? I only see that. And counter the Terrans 1-1-1. And that actually can deal with it. Hero has proven. Protoss 1-1-1 beats the Terran 1-1-1. Go figure. WhiteRa is going to be taking out one of those creep tombs, is going to be getting that Void Ray back. We do have a Ling for TLO just sitting right here. Maybe it's going to be trying to find any warp prisms that do come out eventually, or just checking out. He does know WhiteRa is going for some type of airplay, so this area of vision is definitely going to be nice to have. And looks like WhiteRa does have 2 Void Rays going to be moving out towards TLO's base, but he does have some sort of anti-air. He has a Queen though right now. The Lings are going to see that WhiteRa was moving his units here, taking expansion. Now Ling's going to be running in to the natural. No, it looks like he is just going to go and try to engage his force. He knows that the 2 Voiders are going to be a big portion of the army. He thought he may be able to take it, but no, he just could not. And WhiteRa is going to be able to defend this and his 3rd base. His Lings are going to be forced to retreat. TLO does have a Hydra Den on the way to deal with those Void Rays, and I said the Queen for anti-air. I probably missed those 2 4 calls. I don't know, they kind of just blended in. And with his Hydras, he's easily going to be able to deal with those Void Rays, but he is not spreading his creep, and the reason why is he's getting a Nidus network. And I've noticed TLO doing this. Hydras are very bad at moving off of creep until Heart of the Swarm, where they get a speed boost. But until then, Hydras are very slow. They're the pace of Marines, I think, without stim. And, well, everything else for Zerg is just fast. If a Protoss player sees all those Hydras coming out, he can get Colossus and react appropriately. But TLO going to be using the Nidus Worm, and then putting a Queen out, spreading the creep by this, or just using Overlords to put a mobile creep battlefield. So those Hydras can maneuver, and, well, they go instantly across the map and can instantly retreat. But WhiteRa is getting a Robo facility, actually a Robo Bay. So he will be able to produce Colossus any minute now. However, without the Thermal Lance, they aren't as scary. The Nidus is just about to be completed for TLO. He is going to be going in to attack this one wall. He does know about it, but you can see the Overlords again, as I say, the little mobile battle platform for TLO. This one pylon is going to be going down. Lings are storming in, and TLO is going to be taking out a few pylons. It looks like focusing that cannon first. This pylon going to be going down. The gateway is going to try to go down. Those Lings are trying to hold the units so these Hydras and Roaches can do their DPS. Is he going to get a single gateway? He targets one of them. Now going to target the next, and now he is going to be retreating through this Nidus Worm. At the same time, TLO is building another Nidus over by WhiteRa's natural, so maybe he's going to retreat out of this one and go into this. No, he's going to put units at both of them, and now TLO sees the army right here. He is going to be retreating as TLO does pressure the natural. WhiteRa whooping in a few units to deal with that. The Forge is going to be falling, and TLO has a lot of Lings here. He chooses not to run the Lings up into the main to kill workers. Instead, he's just going to go try to use that to kill the army and get more production structures down. Void Rays and Stalkers dealing with this fairly well. It looks like that WhiteRa will be able to hold on, but he is definitely taking losses. TLO at 130 supply, WhiteRa at 108. That Immortal, though, dealing so much damage to these Roaches. Will it be falling? But now only Roaches left to deal with these Void Rays. That is not going to be enough. The Colossus does survive back here, and now this Nidus Worm is going to be taken out. We do have 2 Roaches going to be moving around. May try to go back up and kill drones. No, it doesn't look like. Just going to be going up in this high ground. Not sure why. But TLO just saying, guys, just chill there on that creep. We do have TLO taking his 4th base, going to his worker tab. He has 72 drones, so he's not making that mistake I said earlier. He is macroing very hard behind all of this aggression. WhiteRa trying to get a death ball up, it looks like, between Stalkers, Void Rays, Colossus, and Sentries. This is definitely going to be very hard to deal with just Roaches and Hydras, but TLO has a Spire on the way and a Nidus one being produced down here. WhiteRa does not know exactly where that is. That will be spewing all the units out. WhiteRa trying to guess where it is. He's guessing by his natural, which, well, it just is not, as TLO now going to be coming up into this 3rd base, taking out yet more pilots. This does not supply cap WhiteRa, but it is definitely annoying nonetheless. And now going to be taking out yet another one. This one will put WhiteRa upside down in that supply, as all the Roaches are going to be retreating, not taking really any losses. Has 1 Queen here to spread that creep. And we don't have, oh no, we do have 1 observer out for WhiteRa, so he will be able to take that out. The Nidus is going to be falling. We do have a bunch of Lings just running around for TLO, going to be retreating. And TLO now going up on his 5th base. And looks like he wants to go and attack this one natural, but WhiteRa is pulling back into position, but he can also throw down a nice one and attack that 3rd base as he has been. The Lings do see all the units here, and TLO is going to be pulling all his units back. I believe those Roaches and Hydras do not want to engage into that Colossus Stalker Sentry ball. But, well, what he does want to do is just put WhiteRa all over the place, and maybe he can get lucky and keep a Colossus, like, out of position just because they walk up cliffs. Sometimes, if you just attack places, the Colossus will wander off on their own because they can get to any place very quickly, but it is Metalopolis, and that doesn't happen too often on this map. You can see all the Roaches going up on this high ground. Maybe hope those Colossus do chase on that and get unprotected. All these units will be falling for relatively nothing. Meanwhile, TLO has switched into Mutalisks, and there's only 15 Stalkers down the field to the 16 Mutas. The 1 Zealot does see it. All TLO has to do right now is take out that Stalker count, and these Mutas will do grave damage. Going into the Worker Kill tab, you do have 9 probes dead so far. This Forge will be dying, and TLO going to be taking out a few of these Stalkers for really cheap, and this is what he needs to do. Split up these Stalkers away from that force, and those all go down without losing a single Muta. But it looks like WhiteRa has more than enough to deal with these few Mutas. A few Mutas being missed, Micro just going to go down. TLO going to be attacking at the same time with a bunch of lanes, going to try to run them in. But WhiteRa does have a wall. 4 Mutas going to be coming to try to take out, looks like, a pylon. At the same time, a bunch of Mutas and Roaches going to be running into WhiteRa's main. Again, TLO is just absolutely everywhere. Has his Lings running up to this one high ground. WhiteRa going to be losing his Twilight Council, but the Blink looks like it will finish. And oh my god, TLO stops attacking that and decides to go for this Rubber Bait. No more Colossus. This means that TLO will be able to build a bunch of Roaches and Hydras once he takes out this Colossus. TLO going to be pressuring the 4th base of WhiteRa, now moving those Mutas out. Those Lings going to be falling, but he does not care too much about that. There's only 3 Colossus out for WhiteRa, and 3 is actually a good number. I only saw 1 there. I don't know where the other 2 are. Okay, they're over here. But as you do see, he doesn't really have anything protecting his Colossus, and now this Colossus is wandering off. That's what I was talking about, being everywhere at once, trying to get your opponent to miss micro those Colossus. These Lings doing a lot of damage to their Stalkers because the Colossus is not around. And now the Muta's going to come in and clean up all of the Stalkers. We have 26 Mutas to the 11 Stalkers now. TLO going to be taking that game. There goes the GG. Well played from WhiteRa. TLO with a very convincing win, showing us that, well, he has what it takes to go to Korea. He is going to keep on playing, and hopefully in 2 to 3 months, you will be able to cheer for him in Korea. I don't know what WhiteRa's plans are. His plans, I guess, are just being the baller he is. Take care, guys, and peace out.